Just as a disclaimer, I'm going to go ahead and show, the progressive press in action. When I reload, I like to decap and size before I go through this entire setup. That means that I take, I think, effectively twice as long as what it would normally take if you were using a sizer along with all the others in one motion. You put the case in it, sizes it, decaps it, primes it, charges it, and seats the bullet in one cycle of the press. I actually like to decap and size separate from all this to ensure that, when I size, I don't have cases that are too long, or some people will even decap and size and then clean the primer pockets to ensure they get higher accuracy. I just like to do this just in case I have some kind of problem with sizing or decapping. I had a lot of problems when I first started reloading with 223, where this would get the case would get stuck inside of the sizer. That hasn't happened ever since I began using Imperial sizing wax, but just as a precaution, as like a safeguard against something like that happening, I like to do all the sizing and decapping in one setting, and then make sure that all my brass is within spec. After that, I just take out the die. When I size the decap, I only have this one die in, I take everything else out. Once I'm done, I do the exact opposite. I take this one out, put everything else back in. So I'm going to show you that part of this process. And then I'll actually go over what it takes to size and decap in a different video. Just to get started, you take your case. I have this set up so that I have my cases right here, set them in. Once I get to the bullet phase, I just grab a bullet. After I put the case in and primed, I just pick up a bullet and put it in a case mount. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'll take my first case, put it in station 1. Normally you would size or decap right there, but I don't. When I push the ram down, this is the priming phase. I want to make sure that it's pushed securely so that I firmly seat that primer to make sure that that primer is seated in there well. Take another case. I don't need to worry about bullets yet because I don't have cases in that stage yet. Go to the next case. Make sure I seat it when I push the ram down. Have some good positive seating. This next time I pull the ram up, it's going to charge a case. Make sure that this goes all the way up, and it looks good. Make sure I firmly push down that case and seat that primer with a good amount of force to make sure that I positively seat that case. Go to the next stage. This is when I need to start watching my charges. I've got this powder charge measure right here. I need to keep an eye on this. This is the most important part of the reloading process. Make sure you don't have too much or too little powder in your case. Now that I've put the case into stage 1, I grab a bullet so I can put it in the case mount for stage 5 when I see the bullet. And I guide that bullet into the cedar die. And when I push that ram all the way down, I want to make sure that that powder measure is good. Make sure I firmly seat it every time I push forward. Get a bullet, put the case in there, get the bullet ready. Keep an eye on that. In fast motion, or I should say faster motion because I like to take my time. This is what it looks like. Make sure I positively seat that primer. Case in stage 1, bullet stage 5. Let that bullet feed into the die. Keep an eye on that powder measure checker. Sometimes you'll see this jump up and down. That's the little rod bumping off of the case mouth. That's perfectly normal. Powder measure guard, I guess, came off for some reason. The little tubes in there. I need to figure out how to get that back in there and seat it in there correctly. Yeah, that didn't have positive engagement in the primer seating. Take a look and see what's wrong. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong. I'll try it one more time. No, something's not right. In this case, I'll check everything over to see if there's anything wrong with the priming system. Doesn't look like it. I'm not sure what's wrong. Primer looks good. Let's try it with the other case. Something's not quite right. It might be a bad primer. In that case, I'll go to the next one. And it looks like that might have been a bad primer or something. But that's, yeah, it looks like that edge is a little torn up, so I'll have to get rid of that. I'll just finish up. That's all there is to it. After I'm done with putting all of the rounds together, go through every other one or every other one and make sure that it's within specification. Make sure that everything looks good. 2.8 what I need. That's all there is to it.